For the first time since 2024, the Dodgers beat the Angels. But before that happened, there was some surprising, maybe controversial roster news for the Dodgers. Let's talk about it all on this episode of All Dodgers. Coming at you live from my mom's basement in beautiful Pleasant Grove, Utah. This is the All Dodgers podcast, part of the Bleav Network of podcasts, brought to you by FanDuel. I am Jeff Snider. It's not just me. We got a second mom's basement here too. Clint Pasillas coming to you live from his mom's basement in beautiful La Puente, California. We are All Dodgers, and I see in the chat people already give us a hard time for being late. Read the description, folks. We said we'd be live as soon as the game ended. That's what we are doing. The game just ended. Now we are live. We have to guess, and we don't necessarily expect a spring training game to go 3.5 hours, but you know what? Sometimes it's a slog, and sometimes the Angels choose to walk 7 batters in 1 inning, not to mention giving up a home run and a 3-run double that inning. Big inning for the Dodgers. The rest of the game, I guess if you don't count that inning, the Dodgers got outscored 5-3 tonight. So yep. Moral victory for the Angels, I guess.
The Tanner Scott game.
But Clint, we will talk a little bit about this game. But first, there is some, I don't know if controversial is the right word, surprising, shocking.
It's definitely getting people talking.
It definitely getting people talking kind of news coming out of, I guess the news didn't come out of Camelback Ranch. It came out after they had left Camelback Ranch, came out of Anaheim. Best thing to come out of Anaheim since Mickey Mouse, probably. I don't know. The Dodgers kind of announced. They announced Hyeseong Kim was optioned to AAA, which means Alex Freeland has made the team as the left-handed hitting part of the second base platoon to platoon with Miguel Rojas at second base.
It's worth noting he's a switch hitter, but yes, he would be hitting left-handed as where Miguel Rojas would not be.
Yeah. And the reason it's controversial or surprising or whatever you want to call it is because Alex Freeland
is hitting a
batted 116 this spring. Maybe it's, is it 114 after tonight's game?
I think it was after tonight's game, 114.
So he does have a 286 on base percentage, which means 170 points of on base percentage. Put it another way, coming into today, just because Baseball Reference has coming into today, 11 walks and 56 plate appearances. That'll play if he can get any sort of offense going with the bat, because while 286 is, or 170 point difference between your batting average and on base percentage is a really good number, 286 is still a really bad on base percentage. But you throw in, so he's showing command of the strike zone. The strikeout rate is relatively low. He, same number of strikeouts as walks, which isn't terrible. And maybe some evidence that there was some bad luck on balls in play. But Clint, I feel like there's more to it than just, well, we think he got unlucky, because you'd have to get really unlucky and Kim would have to get really lucky to make up the difference, because Hyeseong Kim had a 407 batting average this spring.
Yeah.
It's a big gap. So what do you think's going on there?
Well, I mean, just to talk about their approaches, they definitely have 2 very different approaches. I've seen a lot of people on the internet arguing that Alex Freeland, you can't question the fact that his plate, his zone recognition is elite, but also even Dave Roberts mentioned today, he's not really finishing off at bats. He seems, I don't know if timid is the right word, but he's less willing to take hacks, as where Hyeseong Kim was willing to take his hacks. And, a lot of his, I guess he got enough at bats after, post WBC, but a lot of his work was done before he took off to play with Team Korea. Still finishes his spring, presuming he doesn't get in a game tomorrow or on Tuesday, finishes the spring with 407 average, and then he adds a walk in there to bring the on base to 448, which both of those numbers are better than Alex Freeland. But what Dave said, and once you get rid of the initial shock value of guy playing better, or at least performing better, does not get job, you understand why Kim is optioned to AAA. He's maybe he has a future with this team. Maybe he is the future for this team, and he's not going to get as many plate appearances. He's not going to get as many at bats, as many opportunities at the major league level as he would have or will at AAA. And I think that's where it comes down to. I know a lot of people, a lot of people in our Discord, really, really super high on Alex Freeland. I think a lot of that sheen for the organization has shined, has worn off, and Dave even said like he's done with his development at the AAA level, as where Kim still, you got to flip him and start cooking him on the other side a little bit. My argument was do it at the major league level, but only if he was going to get kind of the everyday playing time. And one of the guys we're not talking enough about, Miguel Rojas, has had a phenomenal flipping spring training and should be the opening day 2B and probably get the lion's share of playing time at second base as well. You also have the Espinal factor, but he's just, as I've said time and time again, a placeholder for Tommy Edman. But to your question, it comes down to playing time, and Hyeseong gets more playing time at AAA. He needs it.
I think there's one other guy contributing to that who you didn't mention, and that is Andy Pages. I think coming into spring training, the Dodgers were thinking, well, we can probably get Hyeseong Kim some at-bats in center field in the regular season. And now Andy Pages seems to be saying, excuse me, I would like to play every day. I plan on hitting righties and lefties. I plan on being a star. And, time will tell if he does. But right now, at this moment, there's no reason to think that you're going to need to sit Andy Pages on the bench. And so there's not that playing time. I think Freeland will get the bulk of the starts at second base because I do think, other than opening day against Zach Gallen, I think that Miguel Rojas will mostly just start against lefties. And now the Dodgers may see more lefties than they normally would because they have Ohtani and Tucker and Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy. And so teams might line up their lefties, or if they're facing the Dodgers and going with a spot starter, they might choose a lefty. And so Rojas might get more at bats, more starts than the right-handed hitting part of a platoon normally does. But still, I do expect him, other than opening day when he will be the starter for purely ceremonial reasons.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the time, Alex Freeland's probably going to get a chance, at least for the first few weeks. I think they're going to say, look, go out there and show us that our faith in you is not misplaced.
Yeah. I get it. I think ultimately it comes down to this is going to be the last dude on the roster, and however it works out, like the last dude on the roster and the guy hitting ninth in the lineup doesn't mean that big of a deal, or it's not going to end up being that big of a deal. We saw a pitcher hitting for most of our lives before the DH made its way this way. I'll shift to some of our super chats here. We got $4.99 from the Enigma, who's obviously in our, people who know in our Discord, is in our Discord and has some thoughts about a number of things, but this one regarding this, it's too long to put in a super chat, says the Enigma, but look at the advanced metrics. This isn't a surprise. Freeland is better than Kim. If you believe it, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, advanced metrics aren't quite batting average and actual production.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that the advanced metrics are generally more predictive of the future. And so while the stats will tell you that Hyeseong Kim hit better than Alex Freeland overall over the past 6 weeks, the advanced metrics might suggest that Freeland is more likely to hit better over the next 6 weeks. But I also don't think it's as cut and dry. Obviously, there are things like we talked about, the strikeout rate, the walk rate, the hard hit percentage. There are absolutely things that look really good for Alex Freeland, even this spring while he's been struggling, but it's not as if, he's hitting the ball well enough to be batting 360, but he got really unlucky, so he's batting 114. No, he's hitting the ball well enough to be batting 227, which still isn't good,
Yeah.
But it's better than 114. And so I do think people are going a little bit overboard on he's gotten unlucky. Yes, but there's degrees here. And so Freeland still has a lot to prove. I'm glad he's going to get a chance. And like you said, I'm glad Kim is going to get every day at bats. And Freeland has already played an entire full season's worth of games. He has 672 AAA plate appearances. And that was, like you said, he's not going to prove anything else at AAA. He's either going to succeed or fail in the big leagues, and it won't be because he didn't get enough seasoning. The other guys, like when we were talking about the pitchers last week, Kyle Hurt has thrown a total of like 50 innings above AA so far. So I get why they might think, and by the way, just, on the Hurt thing, Dave Roberts, after the last time we talked about that, specifically said, we want to see him going on back-to-back days and then see, how he feels that third day and all that. So there are specific things they're looking for from Hurt as he comes back from injury in AAA. So, all these reasons, anybody they send to AAA, there's always a reason. Either the reason is you're next Senzel and you're not a major league player, no matter how well you hit in spring training, or the reason is you're Hyeseong Kim and we need you getting every day at bats because your swing is still not where we need it to be. Or Kyle Hurt, we want this and this and this. River Ryan, we want this and this and this, including saving bullets, all those things. But for Alex Freeland, there's not really anything else to send him to the minors for. It's just, okay, now you're a big leaguer. Can you stick?
It's funny. You mentioned in so many words, like the people kind of overreacting to this. It's just people getting in mid-season form right now. Dodger fans really haven't had anything to get up in arms about, because it's just been, okay, it's spring training. It's so good. Oh, they had another good offseason. They signed the two, most obvious free agents that would have helped the team in a left fielder or an outfielder with some pop and ability to get on base, and a closer. This is the first time it's been like something you could actually question the organization about, or have the excitement of overreacting, or Monday morning quarterback or whatever. But what we always come back to, what you're saying there, it's Bleav in this front office. They know what they're doing. There's a lot of people who make a lot of money. To borrow from Mookie, they drive a lot of nice cars to make these kind of decisions. And, I would rather see Alex, it's going to sound bad, but I would rather see Alex Freeland fail at the major league level than do fine at the AAA level one more time. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of how they feel.
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
If it works out, then hell yeah, you got another either trade piece, or Hyeseong Kim becomes a trade piece, because you're not going to need them all, because a month from now, Tommy Edman's going to be back.
Yep, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right that Freeland, the time is now for him to fail or succeed in the big leagues. And one other thing that Enigma just put in the chat, he was talking about
the chase rate and all
that. The chase rate.
Yeah.
That, Hyeseong Kim had a 29.7 chase rate this spring, 35.3 last year. Freeland's chase rate 19% last year. All that said, one thing that Alex Freeland didn't get to do at all this spring was consistently bat right in front of Shohei Ohtani. And you're going to get a lot of good pitches to hit when Shohei Ohtani is standing in the on-deck circle. Either because there's two outs and they really, really want to get you out. And so, or because they think they can get you out and they don't want to walk you with Ohtani coming up. No matter what the situation is, teams are going to come after Alex Freeland with Ohtani in the on-deck circle. Yeah. And that's going to be big for him because,
it's an opportunity to capitalize. For sure.
Absolutely. Your earlier point about how they want him to be a little bit more aggressive because, chase rate is awesome. But most people with a low chase rate also have a low in zone swing rate. And I think that's the case for Alex Freeland. And I think they're going to want him to be, I don't think they want him to change his game entirely, but I think they do want to see him being a little less passive. If the passivity leads to a walk in front of Ohtani, great. That'll be great. But if you get yourself into 2-strike counts, which you do a lot against major league pitchers, if you're taking pitches, it's going to be harder for him to capitalize. And so I think they're going to want to see a little bit more aggressiveness early in the count from Freeland to capitalize on getting more pitches to hit because of Ohtani lingering in the on-deck circle.
Be aggressive. Be
Exactly.
aggressive. Hey, I don't want to be demonetized here. Don't copyright strike us there, YouTube.
Our high school cheerleader chants
I think so.
copyright
Yeah, I
infringement
think so.
eligible?
I don't know. I watched a video earlier where if it's any sort of music, they want their cut. So to
They
get
think they
the
bad, they think
final,
they mean, but they can't stop the red machine. No way. No way.
somebody clip that. No, I clipped that.
I went to Elsinore High School. They used to say ELSI, NORE, ELSI, NORE, Elsinore Tigers, go fight, win. Yeah. Should have been a cheerleader. I was gonna join the flag team, but they said I was too skinny.
Hold on, wait. You'd be a beautiful cheerleader. Yeah, definitely. Freeland, by the way, to get the updated numbers, because both of our numbers were all over the place. After today's game, 111 batting average, 300 on base in the spring with those 13 walks. He picked up
He
two
walked
today.
twice tonight.
He walked twice. Really good at bat in that 10-run third inning as well, to bring Shohei back to the plate, who I think did not have a good. No, he did. He
3-run double.
Yeah, that was a double. I was thinking of a plate appearance later on. I mean, we get that on base cranked up. Like even if he's hitting like a $180, like we're looking at an almost 400 on base. Like all of the things we say to have the argument for the people who are super about Alex Freeland and his ability to get on base and chase rate and all this kind of stuff. He could be a baby Max Muncy, where Muntz has more slug, of course, but he cranks that on, or he cranks up the on base because he gets a little bit more in the batting average. Even if he's hitting 220, 240, that usually puts him somewhere around like a 390 on base, and that's a big leaguer. That's what you want. If you get somebody getting on base almost 40% of the time, especially at the bottom of the lineup, and as you're saying, especially in front of Shohei, that is very, very good breaking news right there. To go back one of the points you made there, so you really do think you see them going with Freeland getting more playing time over Miggy Rowe and Espinal until Tommy comes back?
I expect Espinal to be purely a play for Muncy against tough lefties. Play, occasionally maybe play a little first base, but yeah, I don't expect Espinal to get many starts at all at second base. Espinal can also play some outfield, so late inning defense for Teo maybe. I don't expect Espinal to be super in the second base conversation. I think that's Freeland and Miggy Rowe, and I think it's going to be a pretty close to a straight left-right platoon there. With, if they go a week where they're only facing righties, they're going to get Miggy in the games. I don't expect them to see that many righties in a row very often. So I think Miggy Rowe is going to get plenty of playing time, but at least for the first few weeks, I think they're going to give Freeland the lion's share of the at-bats against right-handed pitching. And then as soon as they bring in a lefty reliever, if they bring in a lefty reliever to face the threesome of Freeland, Ohtani, and Tucker, then I think Miggy probably pinch hits for Freeland in that situation and gets in the game. That would be my guess. I got to put this chat up on the screen. Young Yi, we're going to get the super chats in a second, by the way, but Young Yi says Conforto was a very patient hitter. If you look at the Baseball Savant pages for Michael Conforto and Alex Freeland, both of them are very much in the red on walk percentage and chase percentage last year. Those were Michael Conforto's. The only three things he did well last year: walk percentage, chase percentage, and bat speed. Those were the three things Michael Conforto was good at last year. And so I'm going to need to see more than those things from Alex Freeland before I get too excited. Which, to be clear, I am rooting so hard for Alex Freeland to be successful. Alex Freeland wears this hat and he wears a Dodger uniform. I am going to root for him all the time. I'm just not sold that he is ever going to be more than a slightly below average major league hitter. And I hope that he can become more than that. But right now, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I keep going back to McKinstry. Like McKinstry pops into my head. I think McKinstry probably is a little bit worse, but also he became an all-star for some ungodly reason last year. So if that's a floor or even a ceiling for Alex Freeland, good for him. Probably won't be doing very much of it. With
Freeland does have better plate discipline than McKinstry.
Yeah, he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
I also want to get back into the chat for a second because, too, about your wonderful audition for the cheerleading crew. The Enigma said, your kids are dying of embarrassment right now, Jeff. And Denny, she said, I have secondhand embarrassment.
Hey,
Denny, I'm feeling that deeply. I really
tell
have.
you what, my kids, they're used to it. They get it. You know, my kids know ball, as us young people say.
What's that to do with?
They know what their dad is, and they love him anyway. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you legally have to until you move out. I think that's the way it goes.
And they're not itching to move out. Like they like me.
But we digress. A couple of things still also in the chat. Appreciate everybody supporting the show on the super chats much earlier. So we got two things from our buddy Patty Dwyer. Pat gifted 5 memberships to the channel. We appreciate that. I'm gonna hit the gong and the applause because what a guy. If you guys got those, if you're able to scoop up the free memberships, you get access to our Discord. You should have got some information. Reach out to me and I'll get you set up on the Discord. But he also, as Jeff put up on the screen, sent a $5 super chat as well, which we've talked about, the specific objectives for Kim that he's not achieved. And I think, going beyond that, we mentioned just playing every day, probably getting out of some of the bad habits. Raul had the $1.99 super chat kind of emphatically assuming or making the statement here like WBC hurt Kim. He was only 1 for 12 in that WBC and also had like a hand injury in one of the games. I don't know that it did. I don't know that it didn't. He started his spring really, really well. But I think one of the things they really want him to work on at AAA is, again, continue to get at bats, keep working on the swing changes they kind of implemented in the offseason, but more so continue to get playing time everywhere. His role is going to be a utility guy. Think of him as, Korean Chris Taylor. That's his goal. I mean, that's his role for this team, and that is their goal for his role for this team. And he's not. I love you brought up the Andy Pages thing. There's not going to be a lot of at bats in center field with the way Pages is playing.
Not. Yeah,
we hope not. You really hope not. Barring injury, of course, there's not going to be a lot of outfield at bats to be, doled out. So the only way Kim is going to get some playing time at second base and even some shortstop in there, because that is a good niche for him to get better at. But center and left field, he's going to get that opportunity at AAA. So as much as it's, not ideal, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. To Raul's point, not necessarily that the WBC hurt him, but I do think his swing was in a better place early in spring. And then he left the Dodgers hitting coaches and maybe got excited about playing for his country, whatever, and got into some bad habits. And the Dodgers hitting coaches weren't around. Somebody in our Discord made this point earlier that the Dodgers hitting coaches weren't around him to help him stay on track. And so I think he came back, he had taken a step or two backwards in his swing progression. And we saw the results of that. Like he didn't look nearly as good after he came back. And, and we've seen this story before last year when he first got called up and he hit really, really well. And then he didn't. And so it's a pattern. I'm not saying it's a repeating pattern. I'm saying it's a pattern that has repeated. He hits really well and then stops hitting really well. And I think what they want is for him to just hit really well all the time. That's my guess on what they want. We got a couple more Kim related super chats. This one starts with, you mentioned midseason form earlier. This one starts with something about the game, but then just mentions Kim. Don't care. 187, $2 super chat. Says Tanner Scott and Blake trying to give him a PTSD. Bring back Kim.
Free Hyeseong. Yeah. I love somebody had mentioned in our Discord, and we keep talking about the Discord. If you guys want to sign up, check it out, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube to become a member. But even trying to, when he has a clean inning, it is very much a tightrope right now. And Tanner Scott gets himself back into a big league ballpark, and Woo! Right away,
Well,
baby.
and he
Three
also
run
gave up a
bomb.
home run in his last appearance
Yeah.
in the Cactus League too. So hopefully he's just getting those out of his system. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Like I'm not selling my stock on Scott yet. Grant, one big part of it is they're not going to give up on a dude who has 3 years and whatever it is, 60 mil. I forgot what his contract was, but a lot of money. A lot of money is still left on that contract. And he's a very, very important part of this bullpen and the plan, especially after the team traded away somebody like Anthony Bonda, who has been very, very good for them for the last couple of years. Um,
You froze up for me. I don't know if you're frozen up for everybody else or not. It's tough for me to tell. Somebody tell me if you can see Clint moving. He looks frozen to me. So I'm going to assume that he's frozen for everybody else too. And while we wait for Clint to unfreeze, let's talk a little bit about FanDuel. We were talking about the opening day roster. Let's talk about the opening day FanDuel odds specifically for the Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks of Phoenix. And on that opening day, Los Angeles Dodgers against Phoenix, Zach Gallen on the mound for the D-backs, Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are currently minus 230 favorites over at FanDuel. And last time we looked, that was the biggest favorites of any opening day game. And as I scroll, it appears that remains the case. The Dodgers, biggest favorites in baseball on opening day. Tells you a little bit about the Dodgers lineup, tells you a little bit about Zach Gallen's fall from grace a little bit.
yeah.
And, all in all, maybe, Clint, if you want to put a little money over on something on FanDuel, win some money. Because as Matthew says in the chat, Clint's mom needs to pay the internet bill. Bad news, folks. Clint's mom is dead. Clint's
Yeah.
responsible for his own internet bill at this point. So maybe FanDuel can help you out with that. But we want to thank FanDuel for
Absolutely.
sponsoring our show and some of that sweet, sweet cash they're sending over. Funny thing is, Clint just got better internet. So thanks, FanDuel. You just froze up again while you're laughing. Oh my gosh. This is.
I'm getting.
Now you're unfrozen. Okay.
What the? So I should point out, I actually have new internet.
That's what I was just telling the people.
Yeah, I switched from Spectrum. I've been on Spectrum for years, never had any issues. But the problem is the upload speed is garbage, and I work in a field where you need to be able to send files and large files back and forth quite often. So I upgraded, air quote, to Verizon. The whatever, get the fiber. Yeah, and here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
Here we are.
So it's probably not an internet speed thing, but who knows what it is. But we did get to see your face frozen on the screen for a little while. I wasn't sure if it was just me seeing it, so we had a little bit of an awkward pause, or a pregnant pause, as some people call it. But
We're here for now.
Here we are. And the Dodgers, as we mentioned, they beat the Angels today on the strength of a 10-run third inning, which saw a leadoff home run for Teoscar Hernandez, and then later 7 walks, plus a 2-run single for Teo, a 3-run double for Ohtani. Pages, I think, drove in a run with a hit that inning. All in all, just a shellacking of an inning for the Dodgers against the Angels. They held on, survived a Tanner Scott mini implosion, survived a weird ump show in the 8th inning. Like it's spring training, Mr. Morales. Was that Morales or
that was Marquez?
Gabe Morales and Alfonso Marquez. I always get them mixed up because I'm white.
They all look Gabe, Jeff.
That's right. Gabe Morales is the one who called the check swing a strike on Wilmer Flores to end the 2021 NLDS. That was Gabe Morales. Alfonso Marquez felt the need to bark at Alex Vesia. Like, I'm sorry, Alfonso, is it news to you that Mr. Vesia is a little bit intense out there on the mound? Just let him do his thing. It's still spring training. I know we're in a big league stadium, but look, it's a red jersey and a blue jersey. It's not white against gray. So, it's still spring training. Chill out, bro. That was weird.
That was weird. That was dumb. Let's say you mentioned a lot of the players that had nice games. Raul had the $1.99 super chat about big time Jimmy Tibbs, JT3. If you're nasty, how about that dude? Another dinger, his fourth of the spring. Um, he's another guy. I mean, we've started talking more about him, but I really like this kid, and I think, well, one, front office does its thing again, but two, like this guy, I don't know, man. He feels like he's got a legit future very soon.
Yeah, he absolutely did himself many favors this spring with his performance. Just looks like he belongs. And if you read any of the articles, he had a rough year last year. For first round draft pick, and then the next year getting traded twice. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard, even as a professional athlete, to keep the mindset of, to remember being traded means somebody wanted you. You know, it also means somebody wanted to get rid of you, or at least was willing to get rid of you, but it means somebody wanted you. And and maybe first getting traded for Rafael Devers and then getting traded for Dustin May, that might feel like a slap in the face. Like, oh wow, how bad was I over those 6 weeks that I went from getting traded for Rafael Devers to getting traded for the ghost of Dustin May. But ultimately, he was able to have the right mindset, overcome all of the things that came with that. And yeah, I expect him to have a good year. And he has kind of put himself in position where, if, you know, he doesn't need 9 misfortunes. If a couple misfortunes happen on the big league roster this year, Jimmy Tibbs, JT3, whatever you want to call him, I'm going to call him Mr. Tibbs. They call me Mr. Tibbs. You seen that movie? In the Heat of the Night? Classic.
No.
And then there was a TV show in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, based on that great show too. Anyway, Virgil Tibbs, black police officer in Selma, Alabama, I believe. So, yeah, interesting stuff. But so I'm going to call him Mr. Tibbs. But what my point is,
You do you, boo.
my point is, JT3 is looking pretty good. And thanks for the super chat, Raul.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking like a fully legit prospect.
You know who else looked legit?
What you got?
Your favorite Dodger starting pitcher, Tyler Glasnow. $2 super chat from Don't Care 187. 2024 Teo is back. And Clint, Glasnow is an ace, right? 11 strikeouts in 5 innings, just a solo homer on, the only blemish. 88 pitches in 5 innings, which it's a lot, but it's not terrible. You figure in the regular season, he would get through 6 on that pitch count. And if you can get Glasnow through 6 innings, 1 run allowed, you're going to win most of those games. So
he also
that strikeout stuff looked good.
He also had to sit for near 40 minutes in that 3rd inning. The fact that he came out, I was a little concerned when the velo was down. Like, I think he was just kind of, humping some cutters in there, then really trying to get, rip a fastball. Of course, it's the Angels, so it didn't really matter. They very quickly got out, and then poor Logan O'Hoppe had to go back and catch after squatting for 40 minutes. But Glasnow and the whole ace thing, well, from what we learned this week from Andy McCullough, apparently you need 30 starts and 180 innings to be an ace. So Yamamoto, not an ace until McCullough. I generally like Andy McCullough.
I haven't read a lot of Andy McCullough's stuff, and I'll tell you why. Because I watch him walk around the winter meetings. Andy McCullough looks like a dude who used to weigh 600 pounds and hasn't realized that he doesn't anymore, because he still walks like he weighs 600 pounds, even though he's just kind of a normal shaped guy. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He definitely carries himself with a sort of I am Andy McCullough kind of bravado.
Yeah. And I, like, honestly, Clayton Kershaw, my favorite human being in the world, who I'm not related to. Yeah. I haven't even read the book, even though I've heard it's great, because I have issues with Andy, and and I know most of them. I was glad this happened, because I think most of my issues were petty and inconsequential until this week, when he opened his mouth about what an ace means. Because now I've got legit. Okay, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't like that guy.
To the Ace point again, trash take, bad take. I think he was put on the spot, and I think I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the full chat. Thankfully, Alana questioned it very loudly in the moment, very fervently. I think is the word I'll use here. Um, but I think there was a little more context to it. But two don't cares super chat. I'm not ready to anoint Glasnow an ace for similar-ish reasons. His career high is still only 22 starts, and I think 120, 130 innings or something like that. I need to see a little bit more. However, um, the postseason means a lot to me, and this is where you have Madison Bumgarner in that ace conversation. Even though, like before signing with the Diamondbacks, he had a career like 3.5 ERA, good, not an ace level. Like he was a guy who went out there and posted. He was a workhorse. We used to call people a workhorse back in your day. I guess my day as well. Yoshi is an ace, and Glasnow has ace in his back pocket if he can go out there and put together like a 28 start season. I think that 2025 postseason combined with a full healthy season, hey, hell, let's make it 30 starts. Doesn't need to be, but I think that's the only thing missing for me is just being available. And ace means some availability to me as well.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the stuff for Glasnow is clearly ace stuff. It's just a matter of how much we get to see it.
I'm
And
loving everything we're hearing about him this spring as well. Like the numbers aren't fantastic, but he's good. He's healthy. He's not tinkering.
yeah,
Continue. Sorry.
and genuinely, I've said it, but I really could not care less about spring training numbers. Even like even when we're talking about James Tibbs and these guys, it's like it's not the numbers are great, but it's the confidence. Because honestly, at the beginning of spring training, I thought Tibbs looked a little overmatched, and he started to get a little success and get that confidence, and so that's where you see a guy start to carry himself like a big leaguer, and that's when you can start to picture, oh, he might actually be a big leaguer, and the performance comes along with that, and you usually that's a result of success, not a cause of success, but they definitely build on each other for sure, and it's the same way with Glasnow. Um, how he does in the regular season is going to be much more important to me than his numbers in spring. I remember in March of 2013 going to a game in Peoria, Dodgers Padres in Peoria. I remember Sean Tollison hurt his arm that game back when he was still in the Dodgers organization.
There's a pull.
Clayton Kershaw started that game and got lit up. I don't know if you remember 2013. Kershaw had a pretty decent season.
Pretty good year.
Kershaw, he was terrible that spring. It wasn't just that game. He was really bad all spring. And then the season started and it's like, oh, he was just screwing around. He was just getting his work in, getting ready. And now that the games matter, he's Clayton Kershaw again. I expect that from Glasnow. When he's healthy, I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've seen it. When he's healthy, he is great. For the greater part, he is great. Just about staying healthy, staying on the field, and like I said, I threw mixed in there the tinkering, the fact that he's not tinkering with mechanics and worried about angles and kneecaps and everything, where everything else is kind of landing. The fact that it looks like he's just out there throwing the baseball to Will or to Dalton. I think that's very very good for this dude entering his third season with this team. Like, don't worry about all the other stuff. You know your role. You put on your big boy pants for this team in the postseason. Had a 1.6 ERA, pitching in a bunch of different roles. Like, he's good. He is fine. Just now go out there and do it for yourself. Don't try to do it for anybody else.
Yeah. When you said don't worry about it, I'm totally going to derail this for a second. Do you ever watch Saturday Night Live?
I've been known to.
Have you seen Marcelo Hernandez as the movie guy on Weekend Update? When he's doing guys, when he's I got early access to see Jurassic Park, and I gotta tell you, I did not see that one either. But I could guess what's gonna happen. He says at the beginning of the movie, everything is okay, guys. The dinosaur's in jail. But then, anytime I have a coworker who has a similar accent to that, and he says stuff sometimes, and I just want to say, everything is okay, guys.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Marcelo Hernandez is one of the funniest guys who's been on Saturday Night Live in a long, long time.
He's definitely pretty solid. You know what else is solid? If you're ready for the cold throw to me telling people about IQ Bar.
I'm as ready for that as I'm gonna get. Let's see my friend Clint talking about IQ Bar. Maybe. I pushed the
Today's episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack, hydration, and coffee sponsor. IQ Bar has protein bars. The IQ Mix is a hydration mix you add to your water. And IQ Joe is a mushroom coffee. They're all a delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel that you will need to win your day. Of course, you have the Ultimate Sampler Pack. I have one in my hands right now. You're going to see in just a second. It's a great way to try all of the IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ Bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. IQ Mix is really cool. It's a zero sugar drink mix that hydrates you. It has the electrolytes. It improves your mood. It boosts clarity. And maybe it has what plants crave. I don't know, but it has what I crave. I've tried them all. I like them. I love them. And I need to get myself more to survive the long season ahead of us right now. Maybe I'll use this promo code as well. Right now, IQ Bar is offering a special for our listeners, 20% off all IQ Bar products. That does include that Ultimate Sampler Pack. You also get free shipping with it. You get 20% off by texting MLB to 64,000. That is MLB to 64000. Message and data rates may apply. Again, free shipping. Do check it out. Thank you for supporting the sponsors that support us here at All Dodgers. I said then I was going to have it in my hands, and then I had it in my hands, and now I have it in my hands again. IQ Bar. Buy stuff.
Yeah. You kind of missed a chance when you said, I like them. I love them. I need to get myself some more of them. It's like, do you even care about Tim McGraw?
I love it. I want some more. Yeah, I got it. I see what you did there.
Yeah. More to the point, what you didn't did.
Yeah, what I didn't did, I should have done, and I'll done it again at some point. Hey, final thing we could talk about, or one of the final things, I think Dave, after the game, set the opening day rotation officially, even though we already knew. I'm looking at Katie Woo's here. All the most unsurprising here. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Roki, Sasaki, not necessarily in order. This is what Katie Wu said, but Sasaki, Sheehan, Ohtani, and then Wroblewski available to piggyback the first time through. But they do expect him to make some starts as well, at least until Blake Snell. That's me adding here. But yeah, of our questions, we were talking about second base a lot in the last week plus. That is pretty much answered now, and the rotation one is pretty much answered now. They're going to go kind of 5+ man rotation for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we talked about the need for a piggybacker, and Wroblewski makes a ton of sense there to piggyback off Ohtani, even throwing the opposite hand. So if they build the lineup for Ohtani, they're going to have to use pinch hitters or whatever. When Wroblewski comes in, it's a little thing that not that every team just does full platoons, but there will be using up their roster a little bit in that way. If you're going to do a piggyback, I like having them be opposite hand. For that reason, Wroblewski also is the least, once you accept that Roki is in the rotation, Wroblewski is the least deserving of the other candidates to be in the rotation. So it makes sense to get him some bulk innings that way and let him prove himself, because as you've pointed out a few times, Wroblewski has been quite a bit better in relief in his short major league career. I'm not convinced that he's incapable of being a starter. But yeah, I think this, when they said earlier in the spring that they're building up Wroblewski as a starter, and a lot of people just took that as gospel to mean, Wroblewski is going to be in the starting rotation, or else he's going to be starting in the minors. Like, no, that you build a guy up to be a starter because then you leave all his options open, because he's got trade value as a starter. He can be a long reliever, he can be a piggybacker, or he can be a starter. And so we're going to see. We may end up seeing all of those things from Wroblewski. We may eventually see him traded because of his value as a starter. But for right now, because we know Ohtani is probably going to be 5 innings max in his first, maybe 6. But like I said last week, even if the pitch count is under control, I'd be surprised if they push him past 5 innings in his first start, maybe even a second start. And then after that, then you start to open things up. But for starters, you're going to need a piggyback because you don't want to burn out your bullpen. So if Ohtani can go 5 and Robo can go 3, well then, hey, guess what? All we need is Edwin Diaz now. Play some cool music, shut them down, and put the butter in the fridge or whatever Chick Hearn used to say.
Yeah.
Put the butter in the fridge, folks.
That's exactly the butter is jiggling. That's totally how it went.
Speaking of basketball announcers, guess who I saw the other day?
Who did you saw the other day?
The owner of the network that I used to work for.
Oh,
who is the Utah Jazz radio announcer. I
didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that's his day job. David Locke. He is, as I've said many times, like I have nothing but respect for that network. I think they made a terrible decision when they chose to get rid of me.
But it led us here.
Yeah.
Your life is worse for it.
I think things are great. I do think he's a class guy. He was open with me after the whole thing happened, and we've had some good conversations since then. But I went to a Jazz game, and so I stopped by his booth. And when I stopped by, he was doing his pregame show. So I just texted him. I just said, "I'm standing right behind you," and I just stood and looked over his shoulder and waited for him to see the text. And it took like 5 minutes. And he looked at his text, and then he turned around and so we talked for a couple minutes, and it was good to see him. But that's. Chick Hearn reminded me of that. So anyway.
So you're going back?
No.
That was a pregnant laugh right there. More pregnant.
That's just because I'm fat.
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
Diane says we are happy. We are happy you are here. Yeah, I mean you seem happier. You seem looser. You know.
Yeah.
Doesn't pay as well, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and I've got a day job now too, so History Man says he's enjoying some Jack in the Box while watching the live stream.
Thank you for putting that on, because I was going to ask History Man, what are you eating? That's an important thing, because
sure.
Wherever you're at, it's late. So is this late night drunk Jack in the Box, which is the best Jack in the Box? Is it late night breakfast at Jack in the Box? Because I would probably get myself like 2 tacos and let's say maybe a breakfast Jack or the breakfast croissant. Like that's a healthy way. That's a hellified way to start your day.
Yeah, I definitely need to hear from History Man what exactly he's eating. Raul says you guys have better chemistry than the new hosts. I assume it means the 2 new hosts over at the old show.
Do they really even work together? I mean, it feels like it's mostly that other guy, the Raider guy.
I have no idea. I haven't.
That's not even trying to trash there. I don't. I would barely watch when you were on, and definitely not watch it now.
Yeah, you only
I don't.
You
have
only
time
watched
for
the episodes you were on with me. Just like the only episodes of All Dodgers I ever saw were the ones that I was on with you. So
no, I would click them so I could add them to my guest spots.
Well, I just mean you watched them like while we were doing them. Like you saw them. You know what happened on them.
I was aware. I mean, I don't know if I remember if I knew what was happening. I was just waiting to talk.
History Man.
That's an interesting pull. They're not bad, but the more you think about a teriyaki bowl from Jack in the Box, the more you're like, why does Jack in the Box have teriyaki bowls?
Yeah. So he's having a teriyaki bowl, a jumbo jack, fries, and a soda. Now I've never had the teriyaki bowl from Jack in the Box. It has never crossed my mind to consider having the teriyaki bowl from Jack in the Box.
They're not bad.
It's crossing my mind now. The closest Jack in the Box to me, it used to be 200 miles south. There is one now just across the lake. It's probably a 25 minute drive for me. So I haven't done it yet. But I might at some point.
Yeah. With where I'm at, Jack in the Box is the closest to me. And you download that app, not a sponsor, but download that app. You get some good deals on there. Two for $5.50 breakfast croissants. That's a banger of a deal.
I'll be getting Jack in the Box later this week because as you know, I am heading down to the Neek for opening day. Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. The Neek will be hosting yours truly on Thursday for opening day.
Dude. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna stick. How long are you gonna be in town anyways? We trying to figure out a way to connect, or are we going to pretend
it's going to be quick? If we're going to connect, it would have to be on Friday because my son has a baseball game Wednesday evening. So we are getting in the car after his game on Wednesday he and I, and we are driving to Mesquite halfway, staying in a hotel in Mesquite. Maybe go all the way to Vegas and stay in a hotel there. I hate Vegas so much. But so
Hey, you look
somewhere in
like a good
Nevada, we're going to
gambler.
sleep somewhere in Nevada. And then probably just drive straight to Dodger Stadium on Thursday. From there, pick up my brother. We usually meet up at that Marie Callender's off the 10 just after you, over in, I don't remember what city you're in there, before West Covina, but just after I get on the 10 from the 71 heading west, there's that Marie Callender's there on the north side of the freeway. Usually meet up in that parking lot, pick up my brother, and then we'll head on into Dodger Stadium together. And then Friday, I'll just be hanging out at my parents' house. Then Saturday, we're driving home because we need to be home for Sunday. And so it's going to be a really quick trip. But, you know, Friday, we might make something work. I'll tell you where I won't be stopping. Devore. Speaking of that, where is Richie tonight?
They were at the game tonight. I assume him and Mrs. Ritchie, but they were at the Dodgers destroying the Angels game. And I mentioned to him, I'm sure he enjoyed a good midseason Tanner Scott appearance there, which of course he did. And he unshockingly was upset that Hyeseong Kim did not make the roster over Alex Freeland. Friday, it's not looking good for me, by the way. It's not going to work out, I think. Okay. I'm sorry.
I will be
going to the Savannah Bananas in Anaheim.
Oh, nice. I will be back down 2 weeks later. We're going to Otani Bobblehead Night on the 10th, whatever that Friday is. I think it's the 10th. And that one we'll be hanging out Saturday. So maybe Saturday we could try to get together because we're not driving back till Sunday that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm coming out with my wife and both of my sons on that Friday. We're the four of us are gonna sit dugout club. My boys have never sat dugout club before, and I'm all right. Let's do it. So,
that seems like a good one. We could try to find a way to maybe do a live and in the flesh Saturday stream, but keep it clean, something like that. Maybe we'll figure it out. By the way, for the people who don't know, I'm not going to give it all away because the whole point is this is for supporters of the channel on Discord. But we are doing our first All Dodgers game meetup of the year, and it's happening in April. So if you want to know more about it, you have to be signed up for the Discord through either the Patreon or the YouTube members. But it's gonna be cool. Should be fun.
Yeah,
it will be the Dodgers playing against another team.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those games.
Yeah,
where they have an opponent.
Exactly.
Okay.
And by the way, somebody asked, and then we could wrap off of this. But somebody asked earlier. I think they're trying to make sure I'm not BSing about IQ bars, and I'm not. My favorite one of the bars was the peanut butter one. Anything peanut butter, I'm about it. Give me the peanut butter. The other one, the salted caramel, that's solid. There's some weird ones in there, admittedly. Of the ones I haven't touched from this box yet, there's a lemon blueberry. I don't know. It feels
lemon blueberry sounds good, actually.
There's a wild blueberry. I don't know. I guess I just have my brain set more to the savory than the fruity. So, and this is going to be my next IQ Joe I try. Vanilla Spice. I don't remember her in the Spice Girls, but it's there.
Who do you remember in the Spice Girls? Can you name them all?
There's Sleepy, Smelly, Ugly, Posh.
Yeah. Ugly went by the name Sporty.
Now we're going to definitely get a copyright claim.
Posh, Sporty, Ginger, Scary, and Baby.
I was close.
Yeah. I didn't know I could do it, but, there we are.
We're proud of you for it.
Hey, you know what? We're not going to be on here much longer, but even Clint can't say this episode's been too long yet. So, so one of our staples one of our staples of Sunday night shows is answering random questions from the chat. So, if you want to get to know me or Clint or both of us a little bit better and you have random questions, I think we could convince Clint to do 10 minutes of a little Q&A in the chat, right?
10 minutes of rando. By the way, Godzilla just upgraded their membership. They're now a friend of the show. I think they had just the emojis and now they're a friend of the show. So thank you, Godzilla LAD, for supporting the show further.
That's the other way to get access to the Discord server. Other than Patreon, patreon.com/RealFRG, also the $5 membership here on the YouTubes will get you access to that Discord server.
Let's see. Let's. Do you have anything?
No, I haven't been. Honestly, I haven't been looking at the chat a lot just because I'm trying to do other things too, like
Well,
talk.
while you're doing that, and we're waiting for a couple of chats to come in, how about IB Stroke and just gifted 5 memberships to the channel as well? That's super cool. Always just IBS. We love IBS. We love having IBS around. One of our favorite supporters here.
How else can you say that, Clint? IBS is a blessing in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Without IBS, I don't know where I'd be.
But IB Stroking, you are the man. Always appreciate IB Stroking for supporting the show and just being around. Also like the show, all that kind of stuff. Help us out, guys. It does help out a whole bunch when you like or share or subscribe or comment and all that. It goes a long way.
I was listening the other day to the radio.
Don't hurt yourself.
Prime Country on Sirius XM, Channel 58. Not a sponsor, but if Prime Country wants to sponsor, we will actually absolutely take their money. Chasing That Neon Rainbow by Alan Jackson. And it got me thinking. He said, all I ever wanted is to pick that guitar and play. And I've noticed that a lot of people, especially in the kind of music I listen to, which is mostly country, say guitar instead of guitar. Do you put the pronunciation on the tar or the git?
It's a guitar. I don't know. I would say guitar.
Okay.
It's more of a tar.
So you're not a country singer?
No.
Yeah.
No, I ain't from the South there, mister.
Noah,
it feels like more of a South thing.
Yeah, Noah says we should show an image from AI from the Discord.
Are you able to pull one quickly?
People.
Or do you want me to find one for you?
I could pull one up quickly. I'm just not as good at this this technology that we use to.
Yeah, you're not good. I agree.
Although I
agree, you're not good.
That's rude. The one thing I don't really know how to do is how to make a scene without actually having it up on the screen, you know? So
that one you would do preview mode. Behind the scenes stuff here.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
So if I click preview mode, then any changes I make won't show up on the screen?
This is correct.
Huh. What do you know? Maybe I will try to share that dinosaur one because I mean the dinosaur one, the original dinosaur one it's kind of great. And I think I probably have that image somewhere.
Is everybody else enjoying this? This is great. This is great stuff. We're just watching people peel off.
It's your attitude. That's the reason.
I'm very interested to see how this works out for you. How much this messes up, or more so, how long it takes.
I'm in preview mode right now, and now I'm going to do this.
You guys can't see what he's doing.
Drag this over here. Can I just drag this right there? Apparently not.
Yeah, it doesn't like drag.
Oh, there it is.
Sometimes it doesn't like drag.
Except it's just too big. All right, that'll work. So I have a picture of a picture. Back to live mode. Is it on there now?
Why is it? So you have the picture that you printed out from that's in your.
No, I didn't print it. One of the residents at work, an 80-something-year-old man, printed up this image and wrote a poem about it.
Well, now it's gone.
I just ruined it.
Yeah, you did.
Man, Jeff ruins everything.
That sounds like a good show.
Kevin can wait. I'll tell you that.
Anyways, the point is,
that was me on a dinosaur.
Yeah, because you're old. Yeah, I think is the point.
That was the point. That was what got it started. All right, now we have some questions here. Here we go. Matthew Thomas says, "What Dodgers moment that was not made a bobblehead do you both think should be a bobblehead?"
You're better at this. I don't remember things as much anymore.
I feel like the obvious one is the Andy Pages posterizing Kike.
Yet they have not made that.
They haven't done it yet. It seems way too obvious. Foco did make one, so there is one in existence, or at least they sold one. I don't know if they've actually delivered on it yet, but they pre-sold one. That's the big one for me. The other one that they haven't. Have they done? They did a Kobe Bryant bobblehead, didn't they? Or did they not?
Yes.
Was it his pose after Puig's home run?
I don't remember what it was.
Okay, because I think that Kobe in the Dodgers jersey holding up his hands after Puig hit that home run in 2018 off of our friend, what was his name?
Erod.
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah. Longtime
Um,
former, one-time future Dodger.
yeah. So
Yeah.
those are a couple that come to mind immediately. But yeah, I was glad they did the, was it the Dodgers that did it? This Justin Turner one, right? There, the diving tag on Dansby Swanson
No, I
or
don't
whatever.
remember.
I think that's an
Probably.
actual Dodgers one from the 2020 NLCS, the cool double play, the Superman tag by JT. Um, yeah, so we had a couple more. Raul says, "How much is gas in Utah?" I drove past the gas station today. I think it was $3.59, which is up about $1 from a month ago, but still a lot less than a lot of people listening to this show right now.
I don't even know what it's at because I'm avoiding leaving the house to a degree because of it. But this was last Friday, or yeah, this was just on Friday, um, where the cheapest was at 5.69. Nice, close to my house, and I was like, "Thank God we own the libs, huh?"
Hey, we don't do politics here. Rosman says, Jeff and Clint, if you could go camping together, where would you guys go?
You know, I've been really wanting to camp out there in your neck of the woods. I hear
Come
you
on
got a
up.
nice lake. Yeah.
There's a lot of lakes here. There's some beautiful camping up here. So come on up. I'm not a big camper, but I think you do it. You're more of a glamper than a camper. I
Yeah.
assume I could plug in my CPAP, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
if I can
We
plug
have
in my
battery
CPAP,
packs.
I'll be good. You know. So
Well, yeah, we usually like to try to find spots that have hookups. But if not, we have different battery packs and things because I don't, but there are a few people in our group that also need the CPAP to
yeah,
live through the night.
yeah. Oh,
You
you want to
cowards.
breathe all night?
Roll the
Ooh.
dice, baby. That's what I'm talking
But
about.
yeah, you come up, Clint. We could do an episode here from my mom's basement. Uh, yeah, it's
In your man
we should do
cave.
it.
In your
I don't
man
have a
cave.
man cave. Sorry to hear that.
In your man cave. Yeah, in your man cave
Put
there.
my foot in
Did
your
you see we
man
got
cave.
did you see Pat gave us $5 super chat. He
I'm
wants to see the
almost
Miggy
there.
Rowe throw home. That's a bobblehead he would like to see.
Yeah, yeah, and he says Miguro talks in the interviews about how uncomfortable it makes him when he sees it. I've mentioned this before, but my son told me I need to stop watching that play because one of these days he's going to be safe. Did you see they finally released or made public the report from that night, the
Yeah.
replay report, and what they determined? And if you look at the replay, it's right. Is
Yeah,
that Will
yeah.
Smith's foot was still on the plate when he caught the ball? So
Then he
even
came
if he
off
hadn't
and it was
gotten his
back.
toe back down, which he did, he still would have been out. So IKF was out by 3 or 4 feet rather than by an inch and a half or whatever it was.
Poor poor IKF.
Yeah.
I see Selena in the chat. I don't know who that is, but it says Manny Machado signing with the Pods. That would be a good bobblehead.
Huh.
Yeah, there was also some AI imagery made of in the Discord of Manny Machado's #1 supporter and fan, Richie Flores, giving a big fat hug, and it looked good. They honestly looked pretty accurate as well. So yeah,
Matthew says Jeff is like the weather guy that just discovered his screen can move in Zoom right now, and I just think of Steve Carell on Anchorman when he thinks that his legs have disappeared.
oh my legs. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty
That's why
good.
you don't wear green pants, people, especially if you're a weatherman.
Hey, we have a real one, by the way. Sammy Boy Smith in the chat question: who wins the AL pennant, and who do we want? I would at this point I'd be shocked if the Blue Jays don't run it back, but also Yanks are good. Yanks are pretty good. I mean, it would be October, and we know Aaron Judge doesn't really show up, so maybe they don't make it that far. Maybe they're just an ALDS and done kind of team again. But it's between those two for me, and who I would rather see. I almost don't want to do a rematch with the Blue Jays because I think that last one was so good. I want it to just always live on in its own, and then like get a rematch with the Yanks so we can watch them as to paraphrase from Chris Taylor, crap down their own leg again.
Yeah, I think the Orioles are going to surprise some people this year. So,
I don't know, dude. They were so bad last year. How do
I know.
they? I mean, getting Pete Alonso, that helps him a lot.
Hey, Richie, I don't know if he's watching from the car or if he has made it back home to Devore, but he says, if I was to stop doing F-bombs, would Jeff make a man cave appearance? To be clear, I don't care about your F-bombs. We just don't put them on shows that I'm hosting because I have children watching my shows. But I personally have heard that word several times in my life and am not overly offended by it. So yeah, it's not your language that's keeping me from your man cave, Richie.
It's the fear of abduction.
I don't think Richie could take me. Yeah, I'm not convinced he wouldn't try, but you know.
So I'm curious, when you are like driving out to places, whatever, you're going on a roadie, like do you like to get all your planning done so you can be in the car and be on the road for a while before you have to stop again? Because that's how I am. I don't want to make a stop somewhere like 30 minutes away. That would be the worst possible thing to do.
30 minutes away is, well, with one exception. One of the things, so Sniders are a family of tradition, by which I mean OCD. We do what we do and we got to do it every time. And so every road trip starts at the same gas station, you know, filling up the tank, getting snacks, drinks, whatever. And no, because we empty the tank at home before we leave. That's fair. If you have to pee 6 minutes into the drive at the gas station, you're doing it wrong. But we start there, and then as we're getting on the freeway, we turn on the road again and sing along with Willie Nelson. That's how we start we do the harmonica sounds with our mouths. And then
I want to see the Snider remake of Vacation, the original Vacation. But anyways, continue.
If it's early morning, if we're doing an all day drive, so we're leaving in the morning, we will drive about 20 minutes to the most convenient McDonald's and hit McDonald's. McDonald's does really good breakfast, and there's other closer McDonald's, but that's the one that's most convenient freeway wise to do a quick stop. So in that case, I do stop, but it's part of the plan. So and that's like, once we're done with the McDonald's in Springville, then the road trip has really begun. And then, yeah, we're not stopping until somebody needs to pee or it's time to get gas. But yeah, it's and usually we try to lump the pee breaks into the gas breaks too.
Yeah,
but you can't always control that,
I guess that's all fair. I try to do as much of the planning beforehand. I fill up beforehand, so when I get up, I can take it to the very, very bottom of that gas tank. Ideally, I make it to my destination in one trip, but I really hate stopping.
And I think that makes sense. I think we'll wrap up with this last super chat from Raul, $1.99. He says, when is the bold prediction episode? We will be doing an episode this week with predictions. I would guess tomorrow or Tuesday, because I will be driving Wednesday night.
This is true.
So yeah, we'll probably try to get the three amigos together one of the next 2 days and do our predictions episode. Now that we basically have the 26-man roster locked down, so we can start making predictions on what's going to happen. So yeah, we'll do some real predictions. We'll do some bold predictions.
I like it. Tuesday. Let's settle in on Tuesday.
Lock in Tuesday.
Hopefully we'll have a Kevin as well. Behind the scenes, Kevin is moving. And he informed me he won't be doing the show out of a kitchen anymore, which honestly to me is a little devastating. Yeah. I think at that point we need to get a green screen and have it be his background, be the kitchen, his old kitchen, or just different kitchens, which was one of the things we wanted to do a long time ago, to get him a green screen and have it be different famous
kitchens.
Yeah.
Here I am in Flavortown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Randomly send like pictures of our kitchen, friends of the show, fans, people who watch this show.
Yes, that could be one of our Patreon levels. At the $100 a month level, Kevin will podcast from your kitchen
in real life. You can keep them. We get enough people. We get like 10 people at this $100 tier. You can keep Kevin. I promise. Just don't tell his wife.
If we get 10 people at the $1,000 level,
we don't have $1,000 level.
But this we could. But not with that attitude. Give the people what they don't want.
There is a $10 tier for people who are interested. The only thing different is it goes to the beer/Diet Coke fund.
Matthew says Jeff doing the prediction episode on the road would be an episode for the ages. We've done episodes while I was driving. Clint didn't like them.
No, I don't like it. If you had better audio, if I sent you, like, if you had the
Rode
like
mic
DJI mics or something like that, not a sponsor, where you actually had a lav and good headphones or something.
Well, I could have one by the time I leave on Wednesday. I have Amazon Prime.
Well, they're rich kid.
Hey, you know what?
Well,
I've got $129 a year or whatever. So
we'll figure it out. But even so, it's probably about time.
yeah.
Oh, Richie is now upset. He was one of the guys who was most staunchly against the kitchen, the show coming from the kitchen. Thought it brought down the class around here at the All Dodgers show, but now he wants the kitchen.
I'm starting to think that Richie might sometimes like being negative just for the sake of being negative. Just a crazy idea I had.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Anyways, to sign off, you guys should do what Diane said. Smash that like button for Clint and Jeff, and Jeff and Clint and Kevin's new non-kitchen studio coming at you live at some point very, very soon.
Is he moving back to San Diego to be closer to his Padres?
Yeah, he really said he wants to be a Padres guy for life. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. Everybody who does, everybody who is already a Patreon member, YouTube member, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate you. The new friends who have joined along the way, we thank you much. That guy's Jeff. I am Clint. I think I pointed the right way. Thank you to FanDuel for supporting the show. Thank you to Bleav for having us on the network. Thank you to IQ Bar for fun. Who else? Thank the mods as well for keeping the chat clean and moving and all that
Clint,
kind of stuff.
Thanks to you, man.
Bay. Okay. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.